my head. But I started to retell stories of these books. So today I will tell you one of these books which I started to talk. I did it for 12 years, so it is, I know these books. I will tell today a book, Michael Newton, Journey of Souls. Michael Newton is a doctor. He lives in California, and when he was young, when he studied in the medical school, his dream was to release people from the pain. It was his dream. And when he graduated from the medical school and he started to work, he tried several different methods how to do it. And he was not satisfied with all of this. And one day somebody told him about this method as past life regression. You know it, when your patient in the pain can be in hypnotic state, go to one of his past life. In this case, the reason of the pain would be found, the reason in this life would be found in the past life, and everything is okay. So he started to do it, and maybe he did it for all his life till now. He worked for 40 years in California. But one day he had a patient who was crying and said, "I'm so lonely, I'm so lonely." And he started to ask her, maybe you need somebody, some friends or relatives, so that you will feel not so lonely. And she told, yes, I would like to meet people from my group. He said, what people from your group? She said, oh, now I see them, they are coming to me, because he was in the hypnotic state. So he noticed that this is something that happened because she wanted to be in some group. So he started to try the same method with other patients. And he discovered his own methods. Now it is called life between lives. Because people, when he saw group, it was like a magic word. People reacted for this word because they started to recognize somebody from their group there in this spiritual world in between their reincarnations. So he worked and he started to call his method age regression. And he did it for 10 years. And after 10 years, he wrote his first book, Journey of Souls. He did not add anything to this book. It was just stories of his patients. He made a recording of it. He made a script of their stories, and he just placed these stories, what his patients told him, in this book. He did not make any comments, not religious, no philosophical, just stories. And it was amazing, and it is amazing. And the only thing what he did, he made an order of these stories so that it will be like the soul coming to the spiritual world and then did something there and then go to the next reincarnation. So I will tell you this book now because I started to retell these stories. So usually it starts like with very loud exclamations. Like, oh my God, what is going on? I feel that I'm under the ceiling and I'm looking down to me. I'm lying in the surgery room on the surgeon table and they are doing surgery for me, but I don't feel pain. I'm so happy. I feel released. But what they're doing, they stopped to do surgery. What's going on? And why they're leaving the surgery room? And why that lady covered my face with the sheet? What's going on? And then my relatives came, they are crying. Why they are crying? I feel so great. I feel wonderful. But he started to talk with his relatives. Don't cry, I'm here, I'm so happy, I feel wonderful. But nobody noticed him, nobody talked with him, nobody see him. And then some unexplainable force started to pull this person's soul, I will call soul, to somewhere up. You know about this tunnel. Everybody go through this tunnel to the light at the end. So a person goes through this tunnel. Not in each story that patients told to Michael Newton, it was right in this room. It could be right in this room, or it could be somewhere high, and the soul need to go to the entrance to this tunnel. Then going through this tunnel, and at the end of this tunnel, this is a greeting group. Somebody came to greet the soul. Usually it is relatives or best friends that passed away previously. And it is also very touching thing. That are hugs and kisses and some kind words to this person. And person is happy. Soul, happy to be there. Then these people, this greeting group disappeared, and somebody came like a guide. It is a member of the elderly council, and started to talk about the life that just now ended. And it is not a talk like with the prosecutor, not. It is a work as if it is a very kind teacher who knew you very long ago, who knew you very well, and the conversations is very caring and very loving and very friendly. Then after this conversation, each soul goes through the tunnels, but not the transparent tunnels, to some place which Michael Newton calls like a big airport in the metropolitan area, in some metropolitan city, big. So all souls come to this big airport, and then they grouped to some groups, like we do in the airports. We find our gates and we wait our flight, making some groups. And then these groups fly away somewhere. And Michael Newton wrote that maybe they go to some final destination, maybe not. Nobody knows. But they are gathered with groups and then go somewhere. So people go to their group. This is the magic word, group. What does it mean, group? Because people in the spiritual world are grouped in accordance with their development, in their evolvement. When a soul is created first time, and several also, they go together to the kindergarten, and they became kindergarten mates. Then together they go to the school. They became schoolmates. Then they go to the college in spiritual world. So they may be one group for eternity. So they travel together, and everything in spiritual world is accordance of your development. And Michael Newton wrote that he noticed about his patients that souls can be divided for six categories. The first two categories are souls who are less developed. It is usually souls who were created recently and who did reincarnated several times, or it could be souls that reincarnated already several times, maybe 100 times, but they did not learn lessons. They did not have lessons from their experience being here on our planet of Earth. And then the third group, this group souls are more developed. They could be already guides for us here on the earth or there in the spiritual world, for one soul or for the group of souls. Then the fourth category, very seldom incarnated, because they will have already all their lessons, all their experiences, all knowledge. So they come very seldom. And he told that he saw a person of the fourth level, like maybe one or two, and he said, I understand why, because they're so already developed and know everything that they can solve all their problems themselves. They don't need to come to me as a hypnotist and a doctor. And also he told that in accordance with his own statistics, the population of our planet of Earth is mostly consists of these two first levels of souls, two first levels. So he said, I couldn't believe it because it is only my statistics. It cannot reflect the whole population of the world. But nevertheless, when I switched on the TV or listen or read newspapers, I can believe that it is really so. What souls do in the spiritual world, in accordance with the stories of Michael Newton's patients? They study. When I told about one of my friends, she was so much disappointed. She said, oh my God, again, I will learn something. I will go to school. I hate to go to school. But nevertheless, what souls do there? They go to schools. What they do at schools? They looked to their previous reincarnations, talk about it, learn what was bad, what should be done better, and so on. And they do it in their schools, and also when they go back to their group. They discuss it a lot. What else they do? After schools, they have some entertainment. They go with some, they create circles and they sing, and all of them, they have beautiful, beautiful voices. They sing and they do some movements as if they are dancing. It is not like Macarella or Lambada. They do it a little bit differently, but they do it. What else? So they are happy in this world. But sooner or later, it is a time when the soul should decide to go back to reincarnation. And so the soul needs to answer 3 questions. The first question, am I ready to go back? Can you imagine they live in this harmonious, happy, friendly world, and they need to go to this world where people are compete with each other, aggressive, have so bad emotions. But nevertheless, they need to go back to have their lessons and experiences and learn from their experiences. And so, am I ready? What lesson will I learn this time? What experience I would like to have this time? And what will be the scenario of my life so that it will be better for my lesson which I plan to have? And so from this point, a soul, the process of preparations started. What does it mean? First of all, a soul should go to choose a scenario which will be in the reincarnation. It is like a cinema, theater with many screens. It is round and many screens, and a soul can come and see different scenarios. It is like you go to the theater, you see trails. You do not see the whole movie, but you see trails. The same there, they see some parts of scenarios and need to choose one of them. And the soul should not do it right away, immediately, but they can think about it, then go to the group, discuss it, then see it again. At last, the scenario is chosen. Then the next step is to choose a body. I know lots of women who is not happy with their body, but nevertheless, it is what we have chosen ourselves. Yes, and sometimes souls can choose not a beautiful, perfect body, but injured or defected from the very first day, from the birth. Why? Because when you have the same experience in the injured or defected body, it will be an acceleration of your of learning your experiences and your lessons. Of course, I understand that if you meet a person who just have a car incident, you cannot come and tell to this person, it is what you have chosen yourself. Choose to be injured, that you will suffer from the pain, maybe you will lose some parts of your body. It's impossible. Person is suffering, but it is what we have chosen. he told about one little boy who was 7 years old. He died at 7 years old. He lived only 7 years, and he lived in India in the streets. No parents, no hope. He suffered a lot, was hungry always. And when he asked why it was chosen, such not good life, the person told that it was enough for me to learn this lesson, which I planned to have. So it is like if you choose not perfect and even defected body. It is like when a student goes to the university, well, have one major and one minor subject. Some students can take 2 majors. Some can take even summer semesters also, so to accelerate, to speed up the development, the evolvement. The same thing here. So it is chosen by us. So first scenario, then body, then place. We tend to souls have a tendency to go to the same places where they were previously. That's why I think that we who came here in this country, we lived in this country previously, and that's why we come here. This is not from Michael Newton. This is my own thoughts. I just think about it. Why I'm here? Why I'm here? What I'm doing here for 30 years? I think that there is a reason for me to come to this country. Maybe I was some ancient Inc or in Aztec or some another culture. So scenario, body, place, sometimes time. Time shouldn't be always our current time. It could be ancient ages, it could be Middle Ages, it could be anything. I did not hear from Michael Newton about future time, but he told only about places and times which were in the past. What else? So when all this already ready, done, then it will be the very last step, so-called recognition class. Because when you come here into this world where you are incarnated, some people from your group will go with you. It is like a last rehearsal before coming here. And they decide who will support, who will be your wife, who will be your children, parents, best friends, schoolmates. They decided all together. And that's why you can hear here such conversation like, I love you so much, you are my best friend, I love you so much, and because of you, I love you so much, I agree to betray you and to play this role that I will betray you, I will take your husband and I will live together with your husband, and you will feel this betrayal, double betrayal from your best friend and from your husband. I will do it for you only because I love you so much. This is your plan to feel all this. When I told everything again to my friend, she told, oh, you know what, now I will revise my relationship with my son-in-law, her daughter's husband, because she said, maybe we need to think about our relationship in different ways. And what is very important in this recognition class, that when we come here to this world, we do not remember anything at all, who we are, where we are from, what we are here, what we are doing here. We need to find it out, and we need to recognize those people who will be together with us, with whom we decided that we will recognize each other. We need, and in this recognition class, souls decided that they will use their 5 senses, to see, to hear, to touch, to smell, to taste. Everything could be something from which you will recognize each other. Michael Newton told that he recognized his wife because when he was a child, on the Christmas, he received a toy in the box. And here in this box, together with the toy, there was a card, and it was a beautiful girl in white, and it was her name. And he remembered this name and her appearance all his life. And when he was in the last years of his medical school, he decided to find her. He did not decide anything better than just go to the local hospital, because there are people in the white dress. And he asked in the reception, "Don't you have such a nurse, for example?" And the lady in the reception told, "Yes, we have it, and she will come to this hall very soon, because there is an end of her working time." And he decided to wait for her. And when this lady came, they started to talk. And it was, of course, it was embarrassment, because they did not know what to talk about. But they talked for several hours. And this girl told to her friends that I felt that I met a person who will be my destiny, who will be my spouse for the rest of my life. And it happened, really happened. When me and my husband read this book about it, we started to think, how did we recognize each other when we met? And we decided that we recognized each other because of the hat on our head. It was January, it was cold. I had a woolen knitted hat with such big pompon on my head. I never have worn this hat before, and I never wore it after this day. But nevertheless, I was in this big white pompon. And he also had a very peculiar hat. It was like green beret. He looked like a French salesman. We recognized each other because we dated for the whole year and married, and we lived together happily for 25 years already. So when all this done, all these steps, scenario, body, place, recognition class, then the soul is ready to go back to the earth, to reincarnate. The very last step is to go to the small body of the new baby inside mother. And all souls told that the delivery itself, it was the worst experience in my life. So I can tell you that you had this worst experience in your life already. It's already done for you. Now you will have, when you pass away, it will be like a piece of cake for you in comparison with your birth. So it is a good news for all of us that in the future we have only good experiences. And Michael Newton finished his book. He wrote that what we do here, it is like a performance on the theater. Don't be so much connected with the material world. Think more about your spiritual life, about your life in the heavens. This is what I was going to tell you. Now you can ask me questions, because I read the book, I remember all these stories. There are many stories. And you can find this book on YouTube, because previously it was only a textbook. Now it is audio book, and you can find it if you type Michael Newton, Journey of Souls. You can listen to it.
I have a question.
Yes.
So what does Michael specialize on? What's his...
So after his first book, he worked another 10 years and wrote the second book with the name Destiny of the Souls. Then he worked other 10 years and wrote the third book with the name. Now he was already famous. He was well known in the world with his books. And he wrote the books with the name Life Between Lives. So this book, Life Between Lives, it was like a textbook for people who would like to be a hypnotist and do this, not past life regression, but age regressions to see what souls are doing in the spiritual world. It is like he teaches. He created an institute in California with the name Life Between Lives. I'm not sure that he is practicing till our days. Maybe already not. But he did it for last 40, 50 years. Okay. Did I answer your question?
But his practice in medicine is psychoanalysis or what?
No. First he practiced medicine and he was looking for the remedy in chemical remedies. Then he started to practice past life regression. Then he created his own method with the name Life Between Lives.
So he was a researcher.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions? Okay,
we have a movie. I don't know if you saw the movie from the Spiritist that it shows exactly what you said.
You mean No Solar?
Yes, it's
Yes.
very similar.
Yes, I showed this movie to my audience in Chicago, and I have it, can show you also, because I saw this movie and I read and I saw other movies who were done with the books by Chico Javier. Yes, he wrote about 40 books. Yes, I talk about him a lot also.
It's amazing how we have the same stories with the different writers, different speakers, but the story is the same. It's just a different language or different places.
Yes, I agree with you. I have no idea what does it mean to be spiritist. I am now in Spiritist Society. I have no idea what does it mean to be spiritist. But when I come here for the first time, I felt that I breathe the same air with all of you, with speakers on the stage, and with all of you in this room, because it is the same what I would like to learn. It is the same what I would like to know. This is my life. That's why I come here for you to tell these stories. Okay.
I read, I saw an interview of the author of the Journal of Souls. And the interview, he said that this book, the Journal of Souls, for him, when he wrote it, it was just a part of one location of these souls are going. But he believed there was multiple locations doing different works with the soul, just like the location that he mentioned in this book.
For sure, I believe in it, because then I talk about other authors. Robert Monroe, maybe you heard about him.
Yes.
He wrote also 3 books, and I usually talk about each book separately, because each book contains such incredible information. And he confirmed that there are different areas in the spiritual world. It's huge, it's eternity. Okay, more questions? So what I would like to ask you to recommend you to find on the YouTube these audio books, Michael Newton, Journey of Souls. You will have pleasure to listen to it. It is much more than I told you for this time, because what I tell you is like I squeezed everything to you. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.